Good morning, class. So we're going to talk about coding and paraphrasing in this meeting. And firstly, I'm going to review what we have already discussed before, that is about quoting. So once again, quoting means to repeat the exact words of a speaker or an author. And a quote is also a passage or a statement that is repeated in this way. A quote or to quote means to cite something as a form of proof. So it is to support your sentence or to support your argument. When you quote, you include the words and also ideas of others in your text, and it is exactly as they have expressed them. You have to signal this inclusion by placing quotation marks around the source author's words and providing an in-text citation after the quotation. There are some quoting techniques that I'm going to review. Firstly, you need to identify the speaker or the writer of the quotation. And if the quotation is part of your own sentence, be sure to fit the quotation grammatically and logically into your sentence. For example, as you can read on the slide, Hemingway, 2010, describes his childhood experiences that are illustrated in Fathers and Sons short story, and then closed with the page where you can find the original source. Here, the writer of this quotation, he or she tries to fit this quotation grammatically and logically. In the beginning, maybe the original source or the original sentence was in past tense, while the essay was written in the present tense. So the quoted sentence should be changed grammatically by using the present tense. And the second one, or the second technique, the quotation must be exact. And you can also indicate any additions in your quotation by adding these square brackets or enclose the additional words inside these square brackets. For example, in the words in the forest, they are the additional words given by the writer of the essay. And the original or the source sentence from Hawthorne, it is owing doubtless to the depth of the gloom at the particular spot, neither the travelers nor the steeds were visible. The next one, if you wish to omit material from within a quotation, you need to indicate the ellipsis by 3 spaced periods. For example, in this quotation, you can add the ellipsis 3 spaced periods. It is between if you and then ellipsis, 3 spaced periods, and omit materials from within a quotation. And then this is the additional words from the writer of the essay. And don't forget to put the page where you took the original source or the original sentence. Yeah, basic quotation is actually the easiest way to include source material, but quotations should be used carefully and sparingly. While paraphrasing and also summarizing, they provide the opportunity to show your understanding of the source material. And quoting may only show your ability to type it. There are 3 reasons to paraphrase or to summarize a sentence or a paragraph. The first one is to show that you are able to understand and you can analyze the information from a source. The second reason is to avoid plagiarizing information. And the last one is to integrate the evidence into your writing or into your essay. So as you can see on screen, these are things in paraphrasing and also in summarizing. If in paraphrasing, the length is similar to the original, or the length of the paraphrased sentence is similar to the original, in summarizing, it is shorter than the original. In paraphrasing, you can have the same meaning as the original, while in summarizing, it is an overview of the main ideas. In paraphrasing, you may include examples and details, and usually used to provide evidence or to support your argument. In summarizing, you do not need to include the examples, and it is usually used as the background information, and you can put or you can make a summary in your introductory paragraph. And lastly, you also need to use an in-text citation or reference or footnote with the page number, while in summarizing, you need to use the in-text reference without the page number. It's okay without providing the page number. So paraphrasing means putting ideas and also information or sentence in your own words, using a few words as possible from the original. And when you write a paraphrase, you restate others' ideas and others' information in your own words. You write the meaning of the author's ideas, and you use some of the author's key terms or keywords, but you use many of your own words and sentence structure. You also include the in-text citation in your paraphrased sentence, including the author's last name and also the year for publication, and closed or provided with the page number. An effective paraphrase includes more than one of the following techniques. If you use only one of the techniques from these 6 techniques, when you paraphrase, you have not paraphrased effectively. So at least you need to use 2 ways or 2 techniques in paraphrasing a sentence or a paragraph. So these are paraphrasing techniques. The first one is change a word from one part of speech into another. Number 2, use synonyms. Number 3, change numbers and percentage to different forms. Number 4, you need to change the word order, can be from passive to active. And then number 5, use different attribution signals. So attribution signals is some words like the words that you can put in your quotation or in your paraphrase sentence, like said, wrote, argue, think, and etc., along with the name of the persons who's being quoted. And although a signal phrase must often appear before a quotation, the phrase may instead come after it, or maybe it is in the middle of it. The last one is you need to change the sentence structure and use different connecting words. Okay, let me try to peel the steps one by one, starting from the first step. Try to read the source and then putting it aside to draft your paraphrase. So I borrow this original text from Smith, 2016, page 21. So from this original text, you need to read this sentence again and again. And then after that, put it aside and you can start drafting your paraphrase. The second step is to find synonym for the highlighted words. So you can highlight or underline the keywords or the important words that you want to change or you want to find the synonym. For example, capacity, or storing or retrieving. Memory has the capacity for storing and retrieving information. You can change the word capacity into potential, or storing into hold, or retrieving into recall. And then the third one is to choose the words that are similar in meaning or change the form. Yeah, these underlined words are the words which have similar meaning with the original one. Capacity in the facility, storing into storage, retrieving into recovery. And then you can also change the grammar with forms and structure. So it is the first technique that you use, that is finding the synonym. And after you find the synonym, you can also try to change the grammar with forms and also the structure. For example, you can put the subject or the word in the beginning of your sentence of the original text into the last part of the paraphrase text, like this one, memory. It was in the beginning, and then in the paraphrase text, it is in the end of the sentence. Data recovery and storage are facilitated in the memory. All right, so you can choose another techniques instead of choosing the synonym and then change the grammar or maybe the sentence structure. You can also use another techniques when you are paraphrasing a sentence. And the final tips that I want to give you is to keep the technical terms. Do not change the important technical terms, in your paraphrase sentence. And the most important thing here is that you have to cite. Do not forget to cite. So from the original text that I have showed you before, the result is data recovery and storage are facilitated in the memory. So from this paraphrase text, we can see that there are two techniques that are used by the writer in order to paraphrase the original version. All right, so I think that's all for the techniques and also the tips to paraphrase sentences. Don't forget those 6 important techniques in paraphrasing, because later we are going to have an exercise to paraphrase some sentences. Okay, if you still have questions, please feel free to ask. Goodbye.